You are the prodigal son. When you look into the Bible, there's a story of a son who had come from a lineage of kings and queens, who was part of an empire, who was very wealthy. And when he reached a certain age, he asked for his inheritance so he can go into the world and live. And his father gave him that inheritance. And he left his homeland, and went into the world. And he squandered everything that he had. Frivolously spent his money, I imagine, on the things of this world that we see today, on all of the spoils and the pleasures and the splendors and all that type of stuff that's not truly fulfilling, right? And he squandered his entire fortune. And he cried, and he returned back to home to see his father. And his father was so happy that his son had returned back to home, and rolled the carpet out for him, had a feast prepared for his son who had returned home. And all the other children and all the other people of the estate were looking like, he just blew everything, and you're so happy that he's here. You know, they were jealous that he had such favor over his life, and that the father had so much love for his son, that even though he blew everything, just the fact that he came back, and he came back with a righteous heart and a sincere heart, the father gave him that and more, back. And that story is metaphoric, and it's esoteric, and it's symbolic in nature. And you are the prodigal son or daughter, And the Father is the Most High, is your higher self, is God, is the universe, is nature, is everything. And a lot of times in our youth can be till we're 80 years old. Our youth is just our infantile, our child mindset. Not our childlike mindset in the sense of our having our imaginative faculties in order. It's our childlike mindset in terms of making childish, stupid, foolish decisions that do not aid in our own growth, right? And I am the prodigal son. I done fucked up more times than should be allowed for somebody to be at the position that I'm in right now. But I'm loved by the Most High. I'm loved by my ancestors. I had to learn the same lessons over and over and over again. They say a wise man is one who learns from watching the mistakes of others. A smart man or woman is one who learns from their own mistakes, and a fool is one who keeps repeating the same mistakes, not learning their lesson, right? So, if you learn from watching the mistakes of others, you don't actually have to actually experience that so-called mistake or that lesson to get the lesson, or to get the blessing from it, or to get the level up, so to speak. You just see like, oh yeah, that's the ramifications. 1 + 1 = 2, and that's the ramifications of those actions over there. I don't want to do that because it's probably going to lead me to these positions or predicaments. You see, the smart one goes in the world, makes the mistake, or I don't even like to use the word mistake. You see how I pause on it, but for the sake of conversation, we'll use the word mistake. Makes the mistake, or takes the L, which the loss is just a lesson, and then learns from it. In this universe, you'll be presented with the same circumstance again to see if you learned the lesson. And so that being will encounter that same circumstance, say, oh yeah, I remember this. Let me go this direction instead of that direction. You know what I mean? Let me learn my lesson in this regard. So that's how they become wise. Now the fool is one who's going to continuously hit their head on the same wall and do the same shit over and over again, not learning the lesson and expecting a different result. Or just being so deep within sin, which is skin, right? being deep within sin, which is skin. So being so deep within the lust and the satisfactions of being in the body. And just because sometimes those sensory pleasures are so gratifying within the moment, or appear to be so gratifying within the moment. It's lust. It's not love. It's lust. It's desire. It's base pleasures and the sensory apparatus makes us believe that these things are so, but they're not, and you know that they're not it, because once that moment of lust is over, once that moment of foolishness is finished, you're left with a burning hole of desire, where which you want more of that, and it's never ending. That's how you know you in the hands of the pits of the devil, or your lower self, because there is no external devil. Let's swipe that out the way. We are not giving any credence to anything outside of self as being our master. You know what I'm saying? So it's no devil, it's no demon out there out to send to get you. All that shit is within yourself. It's what you allow. Anyways, long story short, I've been a fool for a long fucking time. And I don't regret not one instant of it, because it was all necessary. Once I made the decision to say, look, I squandered my gifts. You've been given gifts. Every one of those gifts is here for you to uplift the Most High, which is your higher self, which is love, which is God. And even biblically, it said if you're given a gift and you're not using it to uplift and to inspire and to motivate, it'll be taken away. I had gifts taken away from me, but they're not taken away forever. They're taken away until I get it. That's the prodigal son. I finally realized, look, man, I don't want to live my life like that. I made a decision. I might have squandered everything. But I come back to the Father. I come back to my higher self. I come back to the universe. I come back to the mother. Sincerely. Like, yo, I fucked up. I made mistakes. I've done things that I regret. But I'm still standing. And as long as there's breath in my lungs, there's still another opportunity to grow, to change, to shift, to evolve. And that's exactly what I'm doing. A lot of times too, we supposed to be fucking foolish in our early ages. It's oftentimes, it's very infrequent that we meet somebody with a ton of wisdom that's 15 years old that just come in this motherfucker. And I did have wisdom, but that's why it was even worse, because I went against the guiding factors. We all have it. We all have this innate wisdom and knowledge of what's right and what's wrong. The more we go against it, the more it's easy to keep going in that direction, because the Most High is like, all right, man, I'm giving you the game, and if you don't want to see it, I'll pull back the reins. I'm not going to let you get fucking ran over, because I love you too much. But I'll let you hit your head. I'll let you knock yourself down a few times. And then I'll give you your guidance back when you ask for it. Sincerely. Not because, oh, I fucked up, I got caught up doing this. I'm coming to Jesus. What you see in the prison, in the church system. Very few people actually, truly are the prodigal son like you. And come back the right way. Not just because you fucked up in the moment and, oh, I'm sorry. No. Genuinely, I don't want to live like that anymore. I can't live like that anymore. I've seen that that's not the way to go. I've seen where it leads. Because there comes a point where you have so many trial and error attempts. But then there comes a point where it's a fork in the road. You see, before that, there's all these different paths that still lead back to the main road. So man, let me walk over here a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my swerve on a little bit. But, I know I can get back over to this road, you know what I'm saying? And that's the 1 foot in mentality that you must break, that you have broken. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in spirituality. 1 foot in this, 1 foot in that. Do a little bad, do a little good. Nah, man. Now you've reached the fork in the road, and you made your decision at the perfect time. The only way that you'll be able to have the impact that you're going to have on the people that God has chose you to have the impact on was through you going through that. Nobody wants to listen to somebody that's never been through no shit. That's where you get the pious, dogmatic, religious motherfuckers who want to talk to you and talk as if they're holier than thou and they don't make mistakes. Nah, bruh, that's not it. The best prophets of God are the ones who have experienced and endured the most, because they can be used as the greatest testimony, which is you. You're a testimony. Now you about to be lifted up to heights never before dreamed of. And all you gonna say is, hey, the Most High worked through me. The Most High worked through me. Took me out of the predicaments I was in and restored my mind, gave me a sound mind, gave me a renewal of mind, gave me a renewal of body, restored my body, renewed my soul, renewed my spirit, gave me growth, gave me joy, gave me love, gave me these things that I was always really searching for when I was out here in this world looking for things. What I was really searching for was myself. And I found myself. He brought me back to myself. She brought me back to myself. The mother goddess brought me back to myself. I balanced my polarities, my light and my darks, my masculine and my feminines. You are the prodigal son. And your job is to be the one. One.